What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of All Sports and All Play Sunday morning NFL pregame show. Before we get started, I will tell you that today's show is being brought to you in part by Suzanne Paparazzi Jewelry. All products are lead and nickel free. All products are $5. There actually is a special offer for ASAP Sports viewers. You get free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. You can order now at paparazziaccessories.com, and the code on that is going to be 160920. Okay, so today on the Sunday morning pregame show, I am joined by Big Shaw. We've all seen him before. And then making his debut today on the network, he goes by the name of Mess Around. So Mess Around, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up? I'm Mess Around. Chicago Bears fan. I like.
He's incoming.
I don't know.
Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first game we're going to talk about is the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. As we saw yesterday, the Lions actually have quite a few players out. They don't have a Kenny Golladay, he's out. Justin Coleman's out. Desmond Trufant's out.
Yeah.
But as we saw on the Green Bay side of things, Kenny Clark is also out. So their best defensive line guy is out. The guy who stops the run is out. So with Kenny Golladay being out, the Lions might try and focus on the run a little bit more to try and keep that bad man off the field, because they don't want him to do what he did last week against the Vikings. So we'll go ahead and start with Big Shaw on this one. Big Shaw, who do you have winning in this game?
Man, Green Bay still don't win that game. They got Aaron Rodgers. It's no injuries happen. And on Detroit side, they got a lot of players not playing today, but it's going to be close to Detroit and Green Bay always play close anyway. It's not going to be a beat down or a disaster, but you got Aaron Rodgers behind center. So, it's going to be, Aaron Rodgers going to have 3 touchdowns today, 27-20.
Yeah, which I totally agree with you. When it's a divisional game, most of them are usually pretty good. And if you look at the stats, how it has been as of late, so when Stafford first came into the league, he was 0-6 against the Packers when he first came in. But now he won 4 of the last 5 against the Packers. So now he has managed to figure something out. He's figured out a way how to beat them. But however, because of injuries and everything else, I don't think the Lions can overcome that. And this year, Rodgers is on a mission. He's a man that is going to be like, hey, I'm showing everybody I'm not done yet. This is my division, and you're going to have to get through me, and you ain't doing it yet. So I'm going to go with Green Bay in this game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be good. And I'm going to say that the final score is going to be 24-20. So on this one, we'll go with Mess Around.
So like you said, division games they're always close. Stafford always plays well. I hate to say that, I got Green Bay 24-21.
24-21. We all agree it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a slobber knocker.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so the next game we have the New York Giants versus the Chicago Bears. Here's here's the thing, okay? Now, everybody knows that I'm a Green Bay fan, so obviously everybody knows that our rival is the Chicago Bears. But the thing is when I pick games, I don't go, because they're our rival, I'm not going to pick them. I'm going to go with the matchup that I see fit. If I think Chicago's going to win, I'm going to pick them. There's pros and cons for each of these teams. And I'm sure Big Shaw, I'm sure you can agree with this. When you look at the Chicago Bears side of things, they have a guy by the name of Mitch Trubisky that you cannot trust at all. You cannot trust that guy because you don't know exactly what you're going to get from this guy game in and game out.
Yeah.
But on the other side of things too, the Giants have a guy in Daniel Jones who goes by Danny Dimes. The one thing that I've always said about Danny Dimes is that he turns the ball over a lot. That's the one flaw about Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And Chicago having a better defense, that's why in this one, I would probably go slightly. I'll go with Chicago just based on defense alone. All right, so and I'll say it's going to be a very low scoring game. I'm going to say it's going to be 17-14, and I'm going to go over to Big Shaw.
Yes, sir. Well, with the Giants, Saquon Barkley, he's not going to have those yards, no more. He's going to be better as the season go on. And Daniel Jones, I call him Eli Manning Jr. because of the mistakes he made.
Right.
The Giants they have to get it together and play better. But I like Darius Slayton also with the Giants.
Yes.
He's going to be a breakout star in the next 2 years. And the Chicago Bears, I don't trust Trubisky, but he did bring his team back. He did bring them back. The secondary gave up a lot of points, but you can't, go against that Bears defense. Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson and all fullback there. Chicago going to win.
All right, which brings me to my next point. So, mess around. Since you are the Bears fan here, I read yesterday that Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn were questionable in this game.
Yeah.
Are they in or are they out?
I think they both play. And I think Chicago it's going to be a close game. Saquon Barkley keeps the Giants. They didn't stop by the last time Bears played. Saquon ran all over them. I think Allen Robinson's going to have a good game. Fight by that new contract. I got Chicago 20-17.
28-17. Okay, so I was just curious, have you gotten the update if they were playing yet or not?
I have not.
Okay. All right. But I see them playing. I'm telling you, I do. Okay. So the next game we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Atlanta Falcons. On paper, the Cowboys are supposed to have a good defense on paper.
Yeah.
But as we saw last week, they had a difficult time stopping that Rams offense.
Yes, sir.
And when you look at this Falcons team, they have a better offense than what the Rams do. They have a Julio Jones, they have a Calvin Ridley, they have a Hayden Hurst, they have a Todd Gurley. So if they can't slow down a Rams offense that no longer has a Cooks, no longer has a Gurley, how are they going to slow down this offense in the Falcons? So with that being said, it's going to be I think this will be a good game. It's going to be a high-scoring game because, let's face it, the Falcons don't have a good defense either. So I don't see them being able to slow down the Cowboys in this game either. It's going to be very high-scoring. I actually have the Falcons winning, and I believe that the final score is going to be 34-30. All right. So, Big Shaw.
Yes, sir. Well, I tell you, everybody knows I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I hate Dallas. I don't like them. in order for Dallas to win, they got to spread the ball around. They're going to have to get Amari Cooper and Lamb and Gallup involved. You know, Zeke Elliott, he's going to do his thing for sure. In Atlanta, they got Julio Jones and Ridley. They got Ty Gurley. He played good last week. Yeah, the defense is kind of suspect, but Atlanta, they're going to have too much, you know, for Dallas. Dallas don't even got a defense. You know, Aaron Donald, he beat it off the line by himself. You know, he knocked Dak Prescott down. You know, too many times. They don't have offensive line in Dallas. So Atlanta's going to win again. It's going to be good. I say 31-21. Matt Ryan is going to field that in the secondary.
Okay, so on this one, we will go with mess around.
So I think I agree with you guys. Both of you. It's going to be high school. Atlanta's got the offense. Like Julio, Dallas has a lot of guys. So I'm going to go with Atlanta 34-30.
And so coming back to that point just really quick, if Dallas wants to win this game, to me, the ball's going to have to be in Zeke's hands. Yeah, if Dallas wants to win this game, they're going to have to put the ball a lot in Zeke's hands. Okay, so the next game that we're going to talk about is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Indianapolis Colts. Minnesota Vikings have a lot of young players on defense. Their two corners are rookies, and let's just say last week, Rodgers had a field day against that defense. Phillip Rivers is no spring chicken. He's been in the league for quite some time. The only difference is I haven't always trusted him, and I still don't know if I trust him, but these are rookie corners. And so with Phillip Rivers being a veteran going up against some rookie corners, I don't this is going to be a good game, I foresee. I don't know if the Vikings can slow down a T.Y. Hilton and a Pascal and a Pittman, and then keep in mind that they also have a running back in Jonathan Taylor now. So, and Danielle Hunter on the Vikings side is out. And then when we watched the Vikings play last week, Justin Jefferson was pretty much shut down. Mm-hmm. The only guy who really showed up for him was Thielen. So with this one, it's going to be a good game, but I do have the Colts in this game. And so I'll go ahead and go to Big Shaw.
Oh, yeah. Minnesota, they got the young back players in the secondary. You know, I don't trust them yet. The defense, they're gonna put pressure on Phillip Rivers, but I don't trust Phillip Rivers neither. But he is Phillip Rivers, and I think he's gonna attack that secondary. But you have to look for Justin Jefferson. I really want him right now. Because he came here from LSU, so I'm really proud of that young man. He's going to do good. You know, he's going to have to a little bit more better and try to find a way to get over more. But I think he's going to probably win the game. Going with Minnesota, but you know, it's going to be a close.
All right, we'll go with mess around.
Let's see. So, with the Vikings not having stuff on the egg anymore, their offense isn't looking like double team and take him out of the game. So they're going to have to find some other way to score points. And I don't know who got Jefferson. I got the Vikings in this game. I think Dalvin Cook's going to have a game. We're going to have to lean on him. Someone needs to step up in that pass. I got Minnesota 34-21.
Okay. So the next game we have, and let's just say this: in the next game, there's really not going to be a lot to talk about because it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins, and so let's just. I think we all agree that we have the Buffalo Bills in this game. The only thing right now on the Buffalo Bills this week is they're without Matt Milano and Anna Edmonds, but that to me is not going to matter. The Bills defense is going to pretty much take this game over, and they are going to dismantle the Dolphins. So go ahead, let's go to Big Shaw.
Yeah, man. The Dolphins, they don't really have that. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I don't know what he's doing this season. He's throwing the ball all over the place. He had 2 picks last week. If they give Tua an opportunity to give him a chance, I think the Dolphins can do something. And they also got DeVante Parker coming back too today, I believe. But that's not going to solve anything. The defense is too good.
Well, no, go ahead.
So I'm going to put Buffalo on close game. But they don't put the fun stuff. They can close sometimes. Which Miami can up.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say, I believe that DeVante Parker's actually out in this game. I don't think he's playing. So we'll go to mess around.
Yeah, this game I think is going to be close ball. Buffalo's defense is going to be dominant. I think it's going to be over. And I think you're going to see this game be 2 seconds over to it.
Okay, so, and this even next one, now we've run into a string of games that we're like, oh man, these might be blowouts, because this next one is the San Francisco 49ers against the New York Jets. So this is another one that, when I look at the Niners, I obviously don't trust their quarterback and Garoppolo. He's another guy that I'm not quite sure about yet. Even though we did have a guy, I don't know if you were here, Big Shaw, yet or not, but we actually had a guy on this network that actually called Jimmy Garoppolo a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Oh man.
Right? So I'm like, no. Jimmy Garoppolo's not a top 5 quarterback. And they've said it before. If there's one weak link so far on that offense, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. Because you don't know what you're going to get. You just don't know what you're going to get. But, however, in this one, the Jets are not good. Let's put it in perspective like that. They are not good. And this is going to be a game that the 49ers are going to win, and they're going to win it fairly easily. Sam Darnold has not been that guy like he has supposed to be. He has not been that guy. But the lesser of two evils, the 49ers have the better defense, so just purely off that. And I know that Richard Sherman isn't playing. I know he's on IR, but it's not going to matter. The Niners are going to win this game.
Yeah.
Big Shaw.
It's not much, talk about this game. The Jets don't have nobody neither. Sam Darnold, he's becoming a bust. He's not playing no better at all. In San Francisco, they're going to win this game. He's out. That's a big blow. Deebo Samuel, he's still out. And I think the 49ers, they signed Muhammad New, which that's not going to help. But in this game, it can be a toss-up. I'm going to go with the upset today. I'm going to go with the
Jets. Wow.
Yeah, they both don't have anything right now.
All right, mess around.
I don't see this as a I see it actually close because the Niners have some people out. They got like you said. And without Kittle, he's that offense. So I got the Niners winning 28-21.
Wow. Okay. So we have a few good games here, and then basically we have the upset pick of the week that Big Shaw chose for the Jets to beat the 49ers. That's interesting. Okay. So now we'll have the LA Rams against the Philadelphia Eagles. We saw pretty much what the Redskins were able to do to the Eagles last week. Let's face it, the Eagles are not going to get sacked 8 times again. Lane Johnson this week is healthy. He's back. That's going to help them. So this one for me it's going to be a good game. This to me was it was hard. I didn't know which way I was going to go, but in the end I decided I'm going to roll with the Eagles. I just felt like they're just a tad bit better. Not by much, but they're just so I'm going to roll with the Eagles. Big Shaw.
All right. The Eagles, they got Lane Johnson back. And like you said, the Eagles are not going to give up no more sacks. We all know why. Lane Johnson, he's back, and they're getting help from the line. The Rams, they got Aaron Donald. I don't think they're going to slow them down, but the Eagles, they're going to win this game. It's not going to be as close, but the Eagles, they're going to run away with it.
Aaron Donald's a bad man. You have to find a way to slow that guy down. Like if you don't slow him down, he's going to spend all day in your backfield.
I don't even think he can double team him.
No, I don't think you can.
He's like a truck.
All right, we'll go ahead and go to mess around on this one.
I was kind of torn with hard to pick. The Rams beat the Cowboys last week, and the Eagles lost their game. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think the way they slow them down is using the screen game. I got it 28 to 24.
28-24. Okay. Well, sounds like we all have pretty tight games in this one, and I would agree with that. So we have the Denver Broncos versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw that Philip Lindsay is going to be out for, they said, about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But with Philip Lindsay being out, they still have Melvin Gordon. So they still have a running back that they can rely on. Cortland Sutton should be back. Von Miller is out for a while, but that's taken a huge hit on defense, but it doesn't matter because they still have a Bradley Chubb on defense that can make a huge difference. The Steelers have a few offensive line that are out, which could really affect their game. Is Roethlisberger going to be running for his life in this game a lot? We don't know yet. We're waiting to see how that offensive line's going to step up with losing 2 guys on there. The one thing that I will say about the Steelers team, like that defense is legit. That defense is going to be ready. That defense is solid. Like that, from what I saw from that defense is a top 3 in the NFL without question. So with that being said, I do have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game.
Oh yeah,
we'll go ahead and go to Big Shaw.
Yes, sir. I can't go against that defense. I just can't. The Steelers are still Curtis back. If that defense can keep playing like that, Drew Luck gonna be running for a right ball game. It's not gonna be beat down. The Broncos, they do have weapons, and Cortland Sutton, I think he will play. That's gonna take a lot of pressure off Jerry Jeudy. But if Drew Luck can get those guys involved, I'm gonna go out and say you can probably have 2 1,000-yard receivers on their team. If we can find a way, to get the chemistry with those 2 guys. But then you got Mika Fitzpatrick for Pittsburgh. He's a ball hawk. So you got to watch out for him all the time. And Bud Dupree, and you got that white boy too. He's pretty good too. So Pittsburgh they're gonna have the way today.
Yeah, and let me just say, when the Steelers traded for Minka last year, that was brilliant. Mm-hmm. That was a brilliant trade.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go to mess around.
Yeah, to piggyback ever since they got me, their defense has been lights up. Improved them so much. But going with this game, Roethlisberger has to run for his life. That's where he makes the big plays. He's good at improvising. So with that being said, I got Pittsburgh.
Now, piggybacking on you, there, mess around, how you're saying, yes, I do get that when Big Ben is running for his life, that's one of the things he does. He likes to improvise on plays. I understand that, but the only difference is he does not have the same receivers that he used to at one point. He doesn't have a Antonio Brown. He doesn't have a Martavis Bryant. He doesn't even have a Le'Veon Bell now. So without those three, like, that makes a big difference to where he can't improvise as much as he used to, because he does have a Juju Smith-Schuster, but besides that, who has proven themselves yet? Nobody yet. Okay. All right. So, coming to the next game, we'll go to Carolina versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We saw last week that Brady did not have a good game. He struggled last week against the Saints. This week they are playing in Tampa. Is that going to make a difference? Well, without fans, maybe not. The only reason that I'm giving Tampa Bay the game in this one, they have a few more weapons on offense. I know that Godwin is out because of a concussion, so that will hurt the Buccaneers in this game, but they still have plenty of offense. But Gronkowski still has to get his sea legs, let's say that. His sea legs are not back yet. But I do have Tampa Bay winning this game. I don't want to take anything away from Bridgewater. I think he's making the Panthers a better team. They picked up Robbie Anderson. They have a DJ Moore. They even have that bad man in Christian McCaffrey. So, but I do believe that Tampa Bay ends up winning this game. So we'll go ahead and go to Big Shaw.
Yeah. The Buccaneers, they defense is good. It's not the best in the NFL, but it's good enough. And they're going to put pressure on Teddy Bridgewater because the Panthers really don't have anything, neither. They don't even got a good defense. But they do got McCaffrey, but Tom Brady's going to be too much. I can see Tom Brady getting his legs back and playing a whole lot better than he did last Sunday. A lot of people remember it's Tom Brady. Everybody have a bad game. He had one. So he's going to get better. And Gronk, he's going to have to get better also. Once they get rolling, watch out for the Buccaneers.
So, Big Shaw, I got a question for you just really quick before we get messed around's opinion. Because to me, last week when the Saints beat the Buccaneers, for me, that was a statement game. Like Drew Brees came out and said, Mr. Brady, I know you came to this division. I know they call you the GOAT, but I am showing you this is still my division. I still run it, and you can have it when I'm ready to give it to you. To me, that was a statement game. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, it could have been. It was a little statement game. Drew Brees did our point. I'm not going to lie about that. Brees, he always throws the play. But I think he's missing a good weapon in Michael Thomas. So I'm waiting for that game to see how he's going to perform without Michael Thomas.
All right, so now we'll go to mess around.
Yeah, I think it's going to take Tampa Bay maybe 4 games. It's going to take Brady time to get chemistry with all the weapons he has. So with that being said, I got Carolina winning this game. Chris McCaffrey is going to be pretty much better than him. So I got Carolina down 31-21.
All right. So now we'll go to the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Tennessee Titans. There's been people out there who have been going crazy over this Minshew mania. Being like that Gardner Minshew went 19 of 20 last week, 168 yards, 95% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That don't matter, man. It honestly doesn't matter. We even had somebody who said that Minshew is going to be the next GOAT. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on. That's going a little extreme. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Minshew because the guy might be good. And he may be. But is he the next GOAT? I don't. That's way too soon to tell. However, in this game, Tennessee is going to win. And the main reason why is because Tennessee has that bad man in Derrick Henry. And if Derrick Henry gets going, Jacksonville is in trouble. And this is a game that I truly believe that Derrick Henry is going to come back and probably get 200. I'm saying it now. This is when Derrick Henry is going to come back and get 200 yards in this game. You're going to see the Derrick Henry from last year's playoff run. And let's welcome back in, Dave. So that was something that we definitely are going to see Derrick Henry. So this is a game that I have the Tennessee Titans winning.
Oh man, God. Man, that's gonna be a runaway game. You know, Jacksonville don't have nobody to try here. You know, just get on the rock. You know, let him do his thing. And Ryan Tannehill, he's gonna do his thing, but run the ball. See Derrick Henry. You know, he might have 200 yards, but I'm gonna give him at least. He's gonna go over 100 yards. But just give Derrick Henry the ball, man, and spread the ball out. You know, get everybody involved. And Jacksonville on their side. What was that again for Jacksonville quarterback again?
I'm sorry?
What's that quarterback for Jacksonville again?
Oh, Gardner Minshew.
That was just one game. He's not going to do that again. You know, it was a fluke. For somebody to play music, they don't know football. They just want to talk. But if you're going to talk about somebody, talk about Joe Burrow. You know, that's another subject. But I mean, that guy there, he's actually playing pretty good.
But coming to think of it too, that the Tennessee Titans are without AJ Brown, but I don't think that's going to really make a difference because they still have Derrick Henry. And keep in mind too, they got a Jadeveon Clowney now on defense, so I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Okay, so Mess Around before was having some technical difficulties, so we'll bring him back in and see how he's doing now. Welcome back, Mess Around. Oh, Mess Around, your mic is on mute.
Okay, can you?
Yeah, so he's having some technical issues here. Alright, so he's having some technical issues. So I'll give him some time to figure that out. Okay. So the next game that we're going to talk about is the Washington football team against the Arizona Cardinals. So when you have this Washington football team, and let me tell you what, I don't know if you watched our show last night, but we actually had a surprise guest on our show that talked about this Washington football team game against the Arizona Cardinals, and you would never believe what they said the final score in this game was going to be. They actually said that the final score in this game was going to be 42-35.
42-35.
Yeah. They said that the Washington football team was going to put up 35 points.
With Dwayne Haskins at quarterback?
Yeah.
No. Who will get the ball?
Right? And I truly agree on that. Who is Dwayne Haskins going to get the ball to be able to put up 35 points against the Cardinals? Like, that was when he told me that the Cardinals when the football team was going to score 35 points.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's a bold statement there.
Yeah, y'all should have told him to get out the room.
Right? Because I'll tell you what, this Cardinals team is no joke. This Cardinals team is not going anywhere anytime soon. They're young, they're hungry, they're good. And I don't care how old Larry Fitzgerald's getting, that guy is still a great receiver.
Yeah.
One of the best of all times. So in this game, with me, it's not even a question. The Arizona Cardinals win this game.
Yeah, man. I got him. Kyle Murray, he is showing us, why he's going to be a superstar the next few years. Not right now, but he will be. He got D-Hop, he got Larry Fitzgerald. He's not going to drop hardly nothing before this play. D-Hop got the team. Washington, yeah, they got Landon Collins, and you got Chris Young. He's gonna be my surprise player, rookie of the year. But it's gonna be a good game. But they don't have enough, to beat the Cardinals. But man, the best score was crazy, man.
Right?
Yeah, they're gonna win. They're gonna win, but let's not forget. Chase Young, he will have some sacks today. He will. He's too quick.
Yeah, and I don't want to take, and like we said before, when the football team had 8 sacks against the Eagles, and what?
There was an accident right there.
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from that because I think that's awesome. And when you look at their D-line, they have a Chase Young, they have a Montez Sweat, they have a Kerrigan. So yes, they have 3 guys on that defensive line that can make an impact anytime. And so I don't want to take anything away from that, but I just think that this Cardinals team is too good. With the DeAndre Hopkins, a Larry Fitzgerald, Andy Isabella, a Kenyon Drake, a Christian Kirk, they have too much on offense. You can't slow them down. And so we'll go ahead and go to mess around on this one.
Hey, man, you made all my points for me. I do that line slow Murray down a little. But I still got the Cardinals game.
All right, so mess around. Before you went off, we had a guest on the show last night who made a prediction in the show, and it kind of made Big Shaw laugh because he's like, what? So their prediction on the show is that the final score in this game was going to be the Cardinals 42 and the Washington football team 35. They had the Washington football team putting up 35 against the Cardinals. Right? I'm like, wow, talk about a bold prediction there, man. That is a bold prediction. Okay. Now we have Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. When we look at last year, the Baltimore Ravens beat the Houston Texans 41-7. The Houston Texans last year had DeAndre Hopkins. They don't have him this year. The Baltimore Ravens have gotten better as a team. So with that being said, how are the Texans, if they got beat 41-7 last year, imagine what's going to happen this year. I'm just saying. I have the Ravens picked to be in the AFC Championship this year, and it's probably going to be Baltimore against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So I've got Baltimore in this game, and honestly, I don't even think it's going to be really close. I really don't.
That is going to be a beatdown. That game's going to be in Houston, right?
Yes, this game's in Houston.
Man, the Rams are going to play them. Texans, man, they're garbage. When you got rid of Drew Lock, one of the best people in the game, man, come on. Now the stupid move. Whoever done that, he need to be fired.
They traded. Yeah.
You can't get rid of one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And now you look at them, they don't look good at all. Who did Deshaun Watson going to throw the ball to?
It's supposed to be Will Fuller. He's supposed to be the guy that they're going to throw it to now. Or when they went out and got a Randall Cobb and Kenny Stills, like Will Fuller's supposed to be the guy now. But
he ain't gonna be the guy. And the defense, what the defense doing? Man, Lamar Jackson will tear them boys up, man. It's gonna be in the 140s again. But yeah, the Ravens gonna go to the playoffs. And I will say this. They're gonna lose in the playoffs again.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got them in the AFC Championship.
They going over. But Jackson's gonna again.
We'll go ahead and go to mess around on this one.
Houston looks completely lost until they can find a way to replace that guy. You're not really gonna have. You're gonna struggle to find that. And the only way to win this game against Baltimore is if Jackson's hurt, that'd be the bad one.
So, when you look at this trade that Houston made when they traded DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't want to take anything away from David Johnson. He used to be a top 5 running back. He is not now.
No.
So when they traded him, they basically gave DeAndre Hopkins away for basically like a bag of chips, bro. I'm just saying. And David Johnson might be top 10, but he's not top 5.
I wouldn't even put him in the top 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
It's tough. I just think they could have gotten way more for DeAndre Hopkins than what they did.
You better give him. Well, they should have gave away Patrick Peterson.
Something, man. Like you gotta package him with something.
Yeah,
but I guess Houston traded him for cap reasons. I guess, but still, you got to get something for him. All right. So now we'll have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. This game, yet again, I truly see this game coming in and being a blowout. The Chargers no longer have a Phillip Rivers. Tyrod Taylor's not going to be able to push the ball down the field. That's not his game. He's more of a dink and dunk. He's a game manager is what they call it. Mm-hmm. So his job is just to basically go out there and win games the best way he can, and that's not passing it deep. So the way that the Chargers are going to have to win this game is basically by eating that clock. That's what they're going to have to do. But being able to foresee them do this, I don't think it's going to be a close game, and the Chiefs are going to win this game. They have too many weapons on offense. So I'll go with Big Shaw.
Yeah. Man, the Chiefs are too good, man. Speak on the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers, they got some decent players, but one of their best defensive players is out. That's Jeremy James. When he went down, I said there's no way the Chargers are going to make anything. And Patrick Mahomes, he's just a dangerous dude. You got Kyrie. You got that running back out of LSU. He's going to be a star. Y'all keep your eyes on him. He's going to be a very, very great player. And, the Chargers, they don't got enough people on defense to stop all that. So the Chiefs, they're going to run over this game.
The one thing that the Chargers really need, and I don't want to... I know in Tyrod Taylor's career, he's managed to win some games. He doesn't put up a lot of numbers, but the one thing that I think the Chargers really need is they need a quarterback that can push the ball down the field. That's really what they need. When you have a guy like Keenan Allen who can run deep, and a Mike Williams, you need somebody who's able to throw it deep, and they don't have it.
No.
All right, so let's go to a mess around.
Okay, so Kansas City, like you said, too many weapons. Like, who are you going to take away? You take away Travis Kelce, you still got to deal with Tyreek Hill. And then they got a running game now. And that is bad news for the rest of the AFC. With that running game, that just makes it so much more explosive. It's hard to pick what they're going to do on any given down. I think that team's way too dominant. It's scary. They win this game easily.
Honestly, the only way I can possibly even see the Chiefs not making it back in the AFC and representing them again is an injury. That's the only way I could possibly see. If Patrick Mahomes gets injured, then that's a different story. But if Patrick Mahomes stays healthy with him and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, I don't foresee anybody in the AFC being able to beat this team. So we jump into the Sunday night game, which is the New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. In the Sunday night game, it's going to be an interesting game because you don't have that Tom Brady anymore. Cam Newton came out and played better than I expected. But he does have, and what I like to call the GOAT of a coach, because that guy, when it comes to coaching, he's the GOAT. He is definitely the GOAT. So when it comes to that, I don't think that the Patriots are going to be able to slow down Seattle. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. Russell Wilson in the NFL right now is definitely a top 3 when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And Seattle's just getting better and better. They will be in the NFC Championship game this year. I'm calling it now. And so I have Seattle winning this game.
Oh, yeah. I can see Seattle winning the game 27-24. Cam Newton, he's gonna do his thing. He did good last week. I think he's gonna be able to keep it up. But he don't have really no weapons neither to throw the ball out. I don't know what the running game is different. The defense, I don't know, man. Russell Wilson and DK great now. I know Pete Carroll said a few days ago he want to run the ball more. No, don't run the ball. Keep the ball in Russell Wilson's hand. Let him do what he's doing. Because right now, he's a top 3, top 4 quarterback right now. So let him continue to lead this team and possibly become top 2 this year.
Well, yeah, because really the only people that Cam Newton is throwing the ball to is Julian Edelman and N'Keal Harry, which was supposed to be big when the Patriots drafted him in the first round, but he hasn't really come up and done very much at all. Like, he hasn't looked very impressive. So really, they only have Julian Edelman, but the Patriots this year have been built on running. That's what they've done this year so far in week 1 is run the football. All right, so Mess Around, we'll go to you.
Yeah, that's Cam Newton's special there. Yeah, run. Sprinkling passes in there. Russ Wilson, that dude, scary. If you get him out of the pocket, he improvises. New England's not going to be able to slow him down. Seattle wins this game pretty easily, I think.
All right, so that's all the games that we were going to go over today. We're not going to talk about the Monday night game. So with that being said, I want to thank Big Shaw for coming on the show. Thank you very much. Mess Around, it was your first show. I want to thank you for being on the network. And I want to thank all of our viewers for watching the show. And yet again, I will mention that we do have a shirt out now. So if anybody is interested in purchasing an ASAP Network shirt, please let us know, and we will help you with the ordering process on that. So, Big Shaw, is there anything else you have left to say? I'll give you 30 seconds.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for listening and for y'all letting me come aboard with y'all guys. And let's get ready for some football.
Let's get ready for some football. Mess Around, you have 30 seconds. Do you have anything left to say?
Yeah, I was cut out during the Jacksonville thing. And I just want to go back and talk about that Minshew thing. Everybody thinking, well, we have a certain friend that thinks he's going to be the GOAT. He might be good, he might not. I got great you said Stuart Bell. So that's why I want to touch upon since I missed that segment.
Did you have Tennessee in that game?
I did. I have Tennessee.
Okay. So, yet again, I just want to say thanks everybody for watching and come and enjoy us. You'll see Big Shaw tomorrow on with Freddie and Chris, and then you'll see me and J-Mac tomorrow night on the Monday night's football post game. So I want to say thanks for watching, and everybody have a great night.
All right.
Later.